Hi Panthers, welcome to another Take Care of Yourself Tuesday video. So this past summer, I have really enjoyed the fact that I've been able to observe a lot of different butterflies behind my house. So for whatever unknown reason, a ton of butterflies decided to move in behind my house. And so I have found this summer that it has been really relaxing and calming for me to just watch the butterflies fly around and enjoy their life. So I wanted to do an activity this week as we're moving into fall, and I know my butterflies are going to be leaving soon, as a way to kind of say thank you to them and also still incorporate art and creativity to de-stress. So kind of combining the ability to appreciate nature with the ability to use art and creativity both to de-stress. So what we're going to be making today is a butterfly feeder. So the one I'm going to show you today is one version of how to make a butterfly feeder, but truthfully, all butterflies really care about are just sugar water and something bright to attract their attention. So you could adapt this activity to try to make it work with the stuff you have around your house. If you have a plastic bowl, you could just make that really bright and put sugar water in it. Or you could try to get even more creative with what you put your sugar water in. But basically what we're going to be doing is you just need to have a bottle cap, some paper, something to color with, and tape or glue or something like that. So this activity is not something that we're going to be able to create something permanent. It's not necessarily super durable. The first time I did it, because it is made out of paper, I put it outside, I was super excited, and then it rained an hour later. And that was kind of the end of my flowers. So it's something that you want to kind of be cognizant of the weather and recognize that it's not going to be super long lasting. It may last a day or two. And then you can change out the little cotton balls if you want to ensure that it's staying wet and hydrated so that the flowers would actually want to use it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is find a bottle cap. So you can find bottle caps honestly anywhere. Once I started looking for them, I realized I had them all over the house, from things like chicken broth or a water bottle. So find a bottle cap. So I've got this bottle cap, and place it on a sheet of paper. And so the bottle cap is going to be the center of our flower, and that's where we're going to hold the cotton ball. So what you want to do is just first go ahead and, actually I'll use pink, go ahead and trace your bottle cap. So I'm going to trace my bottle cap on my paper. So that I've got a circle on my paper that looks like that. After we've traced our bottle cap, what we're going to do is we're just going to draw our flower shape around it. So for my flower shape, I'm just going to draw some petals. You don't need to worry about coloring it in until after you finish drawing the shape of it. So there we go. That's essentially what my flower shape looks like. And your flower shape could be different. Your flower could be a spiky flower, or it could be a lot bigger. That's really up to you. So after you've drawn your shape, what you can do, I think it was easier for me, just to help me stay in the lines, to go ahead and color it before I cut it out. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and color my flower, and you can decorate your flower however you want. So if you want to add polka dots to your flower, if you want to add zigzags to your flower, really whatever you can think of. If you want it to be multicolored, that could be beautiful too. So I'm going to go ahead and color in my flower. And the one thing I will say when you're choosing the colors for your flower and the pattern is you want it to be bright. Butterflies are attracted to bright flowers that have a lot of fluorescent colors. So that's actually why I chose to use highlighters. So typically I would use something like crayons or colored pencils or even Sharpies, but I felt like for me the highlighters were the brightest things that I had. And so I really wanted this to be something that was practical and useful for my butterflies. So that's why I went ahead and chose a highlighter. You don't have to use a highlighter, but just something that you can find that's super bright. Okay, great. So after I've got it colored in, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out, and then I will be back and show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, so here's where I'm at with my flower currently. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to attach our cotton ball holder onto the flower. And so I am using some just the typical kind of school-aged stick glue. And because this is going to be outside, I applied a lot of glue onto it. So you just want to put the glue all on that little spot that you had traced out. And I'm going to try to cover as much of the white area as I can because I want to make sure that this holds up outside. So after I've got the glue everywhere, I'm just going to stick the bottle cap down. Like so. And so our bottle cap is going to be holding the cotton balls. And so the way that I liked using the bottle cap to hold the cotton balls was actually with tape. So you could use glue or something like that, but because I was thinking that I wanted this to be able to potentially last for a day or two, I know that my cotton ball is going to dry out. And so it might not be as exciting for my butterflies. So I wanted to be able to change out my cotton balls without completely throwing away my whole flower. And so that's why I'm using tape so that I can just peel it out and place another one in and it not be super detrimental to the whole twine. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take a piece of tape, and if you have double-sided tape, that's even better. I don't have double-sided tape, so I just folded it over so that it is round throughout and is technically double-sided now. And so I'm just going to place it in the center of my flower, like so. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to get some hot water. And when I say hot water, don't get super hot water to where you're going to burn yourself. You just want it to be water that's going to be able to dissolve sugar. So I'm going to go get a bowl and go get some hot water, and then I'll be back and show you what we're going to do with it. Okay, so I'm back. I've got some warm water and some sugar and my cotton ball. And so what we're going to do, you didn't need to fill it up all the way. Like I have just a tiny amount of water in my bowl. So just drop a cotton ball into the water, and you'll notice that it will start to absorb some of the water in the bowl. And then you can dump some sugar in there. And so butterflies are all about sugar water. So you really want to have a good amount of sugar in there. I'll show you guys what it looks like. So I've got my sugar in there, I've got my water, and I just want to give it a moment for the sugar to dissolve into the cotton ball. And so when it gets to the point where I don't really see any more visible sugar, that's when I will go ahead and squeeze out some of that excess water, because if it's super wet, then we might accidentally get our flower wet. So it looks like pretty much all of my sugar has dissolved. And there's a little bit excess sugar, so that's even better because that means this water is really sugary. So after you do that, you can just take your cotton ball and kind of squeeze out that water. And then you can place your cotton ball directly into your cap and kind of mold it around to make it fit well. And so the reason I say that you should squeeze out some of that water is because if you've ever used tape before, you know that if things are wet, it doesn't stick as well to the tape. So that's why you want to try to get rid of some of that water. And so there we go. So we've got our flower with our cotton ball. And so the last thing we need for our flower is a stem. So you can use a ton of different things to make a stem. You could use plastic straws, you could use popsicle sticks, really whatever your imagination can think of could be the stem for your stick, for your flower. I chose to go outside and get a stick that had fallen off of one of my pine trees. just to give it a little bit more of a natural look. So what we're gonna basically do is just glue the stick to the back of the flower, and that'll be it. So I said glue. If you have hot glue, that could work. I am actually gonna use tape, so I don't know why I said glue. But what I do is I just flip it over, put my stick down, get a piece of tape, and tape it down. I'm trying to tape it down kind of tight because I noticed that the flowers that I already made, the wind is blowing a little bit today and my flowers are holding up, but I think if I hadn't made it as tight as possible, they might have not been today as well. So there we go. So we've got our stick, we've got our flower, and so I'm gonna add this to the other flowers that I have in my garden, and then we'll see if we can get a butterfly to come by and try out the little treat that we made it.